Hi there, I'm Thomas Mueller from Fjord, head of design for Ayala. So Cannes 2017 was a really rich and amazing experience this year. For me personally, the key takeaway was that marketing, as we saw it across the Croisette, across all of the awards, is very much about making and building connections between brands and their audience. And the real special thing that started to shine through this year is that it was very clear in a lot of the work, brands are succeeding and really making an impact in their effectiveness of their campaigns if they focus on people, if they focus on humanity, and they tie that to innovation. To me, coming at this from the Fjord perspective, that's amazing to see because that's the sweet spot of Fjord, part of the Accenture Interactive family since its very beginning, putting people at the heart of the work and trying to create these moments of innovation that really become a spark when we focus on people and their needs. You saw that focus really permeating a lot of the work in Cannes. A lot of the campaigns that I saw really focused in on finding that human insight and honing in and creating an experience, not just a campaign, really creating an experience that puts people in the center and tries to connect the brand in a very, very specific way with people and with these real human insights that we have around them. What does that specifically mean? Let me focus in on a couple of examples that in my mind really delivered that. So there was Fearless Girl, which collected 4 Grand Prix this year, which makes it one of the most decorated campaigns ever at the Lions. What is Fearless Girl? I think it's impossible to not have seen it or heard about it. This beautiful, strong sculpture that was placed in downtown Manhattan on Wall Street, right opposite of the bull, a symbol of, obviously, the financial markets and everything that comes with it for such a long time. But in the world where we live today, where diversity and inclusion are key ways, and new ways of responsible investment approaches, that campaign, that act was just such a moment that really stopped people in their ways. Everybody was wondering, where did that come from? Who placed that on Wall Street? Who is behind this? It was obviously an investment company that has broadened its investment strategy. Inclusion, diversity are part of their portfolio strategy, and setting a signal that really created a global conversation through Fearless Girl was a brilliant move. And at the heart of it, it focused on humanity, it created empathy, and it was just a really, really human experience signified through the sculpture, but really delivered through the conversation across social media that was amplified through a lot of influences. To me, really a standout piece of work. Then, one of my personal favorites definitely was Heineken. As a soccer fan, how could I not have been attracted by it? Heineken very, very well played into the human nature of soccer, focusing on the single biggest event that happens every year, the UEFA Champions League final, zeroing in on the relationship dilemma between two partners. One wants to go to the game and assumes the other one is not interested in soccer. How can Heineken enter this conversation and provide a solution that works for both? Brilliant campaign that tried to play with the emotions and the dilemma of both parties and ultimately find a solution where one thinks, excellent, I'm going to the game. The other party thinks, great, I'm going to go to a spa. Turns out both are going to the game, and teaches us maybe we shouldn't assume that the other part of this relationship isn't interested in soccer, and how brilliant Heineken actually found a solution to create that connection, bring people together around sports and around the UEFA Champions League. Plays very well with soccer fans. The last campaign, and there's so many that I could mention that really stood out to me, is the work for Qantas, the out of office campaign, which was also done by the Monkeys in Australia. Great bunch of people that recently joined our Accenture Interactive firm. The brilliance to me in that work was focusing on the out of office email. Millions, billions of those are generated every year, and nobody's ever thought of the out of office message as a media platform, as a communications channel. It's this sad piece of digital communications that nobody has touched in 20 years. Well, our guys found a really, really smart way. Take the out of office email, connect it to people's Instagram feed, start to tell a story where I am, turn it into a valuable piece of media, and ultimately connect it with Qantas. There's places where people are going, there's beautiful imagery that is being generated. Chances are Qantas can get you there, or Qantas knows ways of how you're getting there. So we turn the human emotional moment of telling stories of destinations into ultimately a commercial opportunity for Qantas to drive leads and weave in offers and packages and great deals in this one format that nobody ever had thought of before, to create as a media and use as a media platform. Really smart work. I loved it. There's so many more that I could highlight. These are three that are really standouts. So let's hear from some of the other colleagues what really moved them this year at Cannes in the south of France.